Previously on Path of the Titans. And when we make the Death Guard, we will be getting access to one of the best special attacks on a weapon of this level, I'll be honest. He is down with no supplies and no armor. That was closer than I was expecting, I'll be perfectly honest. However, that is Hermod done with no armor, no supplies. We take that one for a quick diamond challenge. Welcome back to Path of the Titans. Last episode, we left off having set up Necromancy, got it to 70, and taken on our first challenge at Hermod. So in this episode, we're going to be taking Necromancy one step further, and to do that, we got up to level 90 Necromancy by AFKing some Shadow Warriors. This is our limit for allowed training outside of any levels we just happen to get by bossing. This gives us access to the Sorrow Curse, which puts Necromancy on the same playing field as all the other styles. As for where we're putting that to use, we're heading straight back to Hermod to take on the Dragonstone challenge, which is to do an entire hour on fastest without using the Vengeful Ghost. We went for the classic approach of using a yak full of food, so let's see how that went. Deal with the ads via Threads of Fate. Seems like the most reasonable way to do it. It costs runes, but I think we've got enough flesh runes, and if we don't, then we can just swap to using Spectral Cipher later. Yeah, now we've actually lost some prayer points. We'll throw on penance, and I'll be honest, I don't think we're actually going to have any health issues. His normal hits don't seem to do a huge amount of damage. If he's not doing any damage, then I won't get any prayer back from penance. So I might have to just eat some of his slams to get penance. Penance to restore some prayer points. So this is going to be one of the problems of the endurance challenges going forward, is when bosses like Hermod don't hit very hard, Soul Split just kind of nullifies all the need for food. As for why I'm not so concerned about like the difference between these kill times and the kill time requirement for the Dragonstone, the Ghost's Haunt ability is actually just kind of massive. Now you can see how just adding the zombie in, I've already massively increased my damage before he summoned minions this time. So we'll be doing a fair bit more damage on that front. 3 large bladed rune salvage. There you go. See, you just add in the zombie and our kill speed dropped by a minute. So all we've got to do is drop it by not even a minute again. That's it. Because I could always get a salve amulet for this guy and for Raziel, which, to be honest, with the Death Skulls nerf, it's looking more and more likely that I'm happy to take... Hey, there we go. First Hermodic plate in the bag. There's only 3 more to go now. But yeah, it's looking more and more likely I'm willing to grab stuff for making Raziel easier. Seems like Bloat is actually worth using. I can't wait to see what it does with the Ghost. I know Bloat is 100% worth pressing when you use Split Soul. Because of the way Soul Split works with smaller hits, it heals a greater percentage. So Split Soul actually does a greater percentage of Bloat's damage versus something like Finger of Death. But obviously, we don't have Split Soul yet, and we're not getting Split Soul until we get to Raziel. So not really of a concern to us yet. And unfortunately, I don't actually have... Because I can't do Tomes of the Warlock, I don't actually have the ability to force the insta-kill application. Or the Deathmark application. Yeah, so I don't have Life Transfer, I don't have Invoke Death, and I don't have Darkness for the main ones. Well, and Split Soul. All of those come with Raziel. It's hopefully gonna help keep Necromancy a little more in check. Yeah, I finally realized recently what had got me in a funk with RuneScape since Necro, and it's this feeling that like something's coming, something is gonna change with combat. Whether it just be crit changes and hit cap changes, or whether it be something a bit deeper than that, something's gonna change. Which means right now the game feels in a weird limbo where Necromancy is like what the future's gonna look like, and the rest of the styles are kind of stuck in the past. So it feels bad to play the other styles, but everyone's also been playing Necromancy so much that they're kind of Necromancy'd out. There we go, second Hermodic plate. That's 2 out of 4 as boss drops. And we're up to 18 Hermod, so we're actually going nicely on rate for these, which makes a change for me. Oh yeah, that's another good point. We're going to be using dark magic for the speed kill as well. And unsurprisingly, dark magic, a load of small hits, works really well with the ghost. So Mod Ryan actually posted on Twitter earlier today that they're looking at making some updates to the buff bar. And they had like this idea of a section to the side where you had like high priority buffs. But my contribution to it was like, give us the ability to pin buffs. And then when a pinned buff is gone, like have it glow or something. That will go a huge way to helping with the like overload, anti-fire, etc. problem. Where the only way to notice that you're missing it is to notice that the buff disappeared. But there's nothing to tell you that the buff disappeared other than the absence of it. Well, that's going to be a PR. Thank you, Execute. So, one problem I'm actually kind of running into that I didn't expect to run into is I think I might need to find a way to make some money. Now, Krill is either going to solve this problem for me or not. Because the problem with Krill is that his drops are good money, but they're also my source of Zami components. So I don't exactly want to go selling those. I think we've got 2 more kills and then this wraps up. I mean, it's still going to have taken like 15 sailfish. Wasn't entirely free consumable-wise. Maybe Soul Split needs to hit the bench for some endurance challenges. Might be the best way of dealing with this. I'm not sure if it's just Hermod though. There are a lot of bosses that Hermod in this. So it could just be that Hermod doesn't really hit hard enough. I don't think it's normal that a boss, if you use penance at a boss, you get hit little enough that, well, it can't keep your prayer up. It is indeed about to be done. He's gonna immune. Way to steal my thunder. And there we go. The last Hermod is down for the hour. And the Dragonstone challenge is complete. And we got 2 Hermod plates. So let's go take those to the smithy and upgrade our helm and our legs. I'll be the first one to admit that that challenge was probably a little easier than it should have been. Maybe it should have been longer, or maybe Hermod just isn't damaging enough to be worth an endurance challenge. However, the challenge was locked in, so we can't go changing it now. All we can do is go and make our tier 70 power armor pieces from the Hermod plates we got, and then we can put those to use going for the Onyx challenge. However, first of all, I want to head over to Krill and take on a bit of a spin on one of Krill's achievements. The kind of thing that originally inspired me to do these kind of challenges at bosses. So this is the gear we're going to be killing Krill with for our Krillo achievement. But all the damage has to be done with a Willow weapon, which means I don't think I can take a familiar in there. This has to be in an instance encounter. Let's get over to the altar to pray. Yeah, I'm not going to get away without praying here, so I do want to pray. Okay, so I think Deadshot's going to be my best friend here. I just realized I don't actually have the Zut Cape, so Deadshot isn't as good as I hoped. I don't think it was worth using Death Swiftness, if I'm going to be honest. Oh, wait, that doesn't do current health. That was my vet. Okay, I got them mixed up a sec there. Part of it works off of max, the other works off current, and it's current for prayer points, max for health. So I thought I was fine leaving my health low because I thought he would just hit me less hard. I was wrong. I have surprisingly higher accuracy than I was expecting for a tier 20 weapon. I might have to weave in debilitates here. Debilitate splashed anyway. I think he should be dead soon. Yeah, he's gonna die. I had a bit more accuracy than I was expecting for only a tier 20 weapon. So there we go. Let's Krill down with only tier 20 gear. I didn't realize there was another achievement there that I was going to be getting. Well, minus that small mishap with the spec, that is Krillo done, and Krill will be done, all done with tier 20 gear for a Dragonstone challenge. This one was meant to be a little more fun than challenging, a way for me to shout out the kinds of achievements in the game that inspired me. Let's make the executive decision then. We are heading back to Hermod, and I'm going to get that speed kill. As we just said, we're heading back to Hermod to take on his Onyx challenge, which is to get a 36-second speed kill. With only tier 70 Necromancy, no invention, not the best auras, this is going to be quite the challenge. So I'm going to use the Book of Lore, because its hits should be more helped by the Ghost than the Saradoban book. The Ring of Fortune actually gives better stats than the Berserker Ring. I don't know why I put the Berserker Ring in this preset. So the one thing I'm missing is, well, if I had an Excalibur, that would be nice, but I don't. Okay, let's try this. As for why I'm not using a familiar, simply put, none of them can damage Hermod, so none of them will help me right now. So the idea here is that I'm going to build up all my resources on the dummies here, and go over to the Adrenaline Crystal, use Living Death, hit the Adrenaline Crystal, and go into Raziel's Citadel. I actually need the instance made before I start this, and I think that's a game crash. Let's get it rebooted. I don't think I can fit Death Skulls in here, but that was 46 with a pretty big mistake, so... Okay, Potion interrupts the Ore Crystal. Good to know. Oh, they need to fix that. That feels awful. If you're in combat and don't have a target, you just straight up cannot summon Conjures. Oh, that's horrible. But yeah, that change they've made has made it really unfortunate. I'm going to wait a sec here before I go in. I'm going to activate Dark Magic. Bring out Conjures. Command Ghost. Okay, let's smash him. Hey, the drumsticks dropped. I'm not even on the quest. Oh, I think I'm gonna need to try and stall the... Can you even stall it? Because of his walk-in time and everything else, I can't actually get 2 weapon specs in 36 seconds. At least not a 36-second kill time because of his walk-in animation and his death animation. I definitely need to target cycle as well, because what happened there was I touch a death for no necrosis stacks because I touch a death as my first GCD. Okay, give it a second. This should be enough to drop combat. Summon Conjures, Command Ghost, target cycle weapon spec. I wonder if I need to try and fit a Death Skulls in here somewhere. But there was no execute. Execute would have shaved some time off that one. And I'm assuming bloat dropped as well. I might have to wait for the full 5 set of tier 70. Just so that I have a better chance of getting the execute. Okay, take that off. Put it back on. Living Death. Adrenaline Crystal. Put on Prayers, put on Book, go through to Raziel's Citadel, wait a bit to drop combat. Head in. Summon Conjures. And Command Ghost. Target cycle into Weapon Spec, into Volley of Souls. Loot, and now we'll try and fit a Death Skulls in, see what that does. Don't know if it's going to be good enough. Wait, oh, that's so close. I don't actually feel like because of having to leave combat, I don't feel like I get any benefit to Living Death, but that said, I need to unlock you in order to see tooltips. How long do you last? 42 seconds. Oh, can we make that work? Or summon Conjures at the Adrenaline Crystal. Summon Conjures in order of Zombie, Skeleton, Ghost. And then Living Death, use the crystal and just run in. Maybe? Maybe that should be what we try. Okay, so we take this off. We drop combat. Zombie, Skeleton, Ghost, Living Death. Drain Crystal. Did the Ghost command go through? It looks like it did, yeah. Now we should have longer of... Yeah, a bit longer, not that much. Well, I don't think I can get multiple weapon specs in there. So I think what I do at the start is... At the start, I just use Finger of Deaths. Because that's when I'm in Living Death. Oh, my prayer ran out. And that was weird, he died while immune. Oh, hey, another plate. Let's go turn that into an armor piece. We'll take any help we can get right now. I guess I should have my blood amulet off until I pull the boss as well. It shouldn't make that much of a difference though. But yeah, instead of weapon specking while Living Death's still up, I'm just gonna use Finger of Death and then weapon spec near the end. Yeah, I think Death Skulls might have to make an appearance somewhere in this. I'm just not sure where. Maybe... maybe my opener should be Finger, Death Skulls? I was trying to actually use the adrenaline we have at the start on our biggest hitting ability and see what that gives us. And then we want to try and build up Necrosis stacks, see if we can get a big weapon spec off near the end. 8 stacks is as good as I'm gonna get, so fire it off. No, there's no execute! Oh, no! Oh. Oh, no. That's the rotation, though. So, the rotation I ended up settling on is Finger of Death into Death Skulls, Volley of Souls, Touch of Death into Bloat. And then I mostly just leave it up to Revolution and my Conjures for a bit while I build up Necrosis stacks and Volley stacks. And then when I have 3 residual souls, I fire off Volley of Souls, 8 Necrosis stacks, I fire off the weapon spec, and try and get him below 30k so that the execute can finish him off. Regardless, I know that's the right rotation now, so I just need to keep executing it. You know, if I was going to mess up one of the tuning on the challenges, I'm glad I messed up the Dragonstone and not the Onyx, because this is exactly what I felt trying to kill that dang mole the first time. Holy, we opened with a 14k. Close again. The ghost isn't actually surviving the whole time. Yeah, my conjures don't actually stick around the whole fight. What? No, execute again. Oh. If he had Death Mark, that was it. And that's twice now. This is mine. Actually, I want to do it this way. I want my conjures around the whole fight. I'm doing it this way. I may have butchered this one a bit. Okay, I think having the conjures out longer is more valuable to me than having Living Death past the first 2 Fingers of Death. Because Death Skull's cooldown doesn't matter. The extra Dren from Touch of Death is maybe kind of nice, and I'm not even autoing at that point before it wears off normally. Okay, this is looking promising. Execute, please apply. I believe. The execute didn't apply. That execute is so inconsistent. It had been applying really consistently until then. That one would have been maybe a tick short anyway. This is the one, I believe. Hey, Hermodic Plate! We got all of them! We are done at 45 Hermod KC. I actually went on rate for something. I didn't even have a single Hermodic Plate on my main by this kill count. Well, wishlist item done. Hermod's Plate. Tier 70 Death Dealer. We have the full 5% chance to apply Death Mark, so hopefully it's not gonna screw us over anymore. Like, I was willing to maybe accept that I might have to get the salve amulet to do this. But I've seen it's possible without it, so I'm getting it. Okay, is this gonna execute? Is it gonna execute? No execute! No! Oh, if only I could manually apply it. Yeah, that was a slow start. I'd have... Like, I think I lost myself, like, 2 ticks. Or maybe even a whole GCD. But this time he has execute. There it is! Please? 36.6! No! We were 1 tick short! Oh, no! We were one tick short. That one tick of me messing up the start, we were short. That feels so bad. And if I had an adren pot, I could eat. This would be much easier. Doesn't have death mark again. Don't think that was it, even if he did. But yeah, by the time we do the Hydrix challenge, I'm expecting we'll have like a Blood Reaver and... Wait, hang on. Does the Ice Nihil actually attack with Necromancy? Does it actually attack, or is it just accuracy? I'm gonna try this with an Ice Nihil. Like, even if it just does small hits, the ghost will double them. And all it's got to do is shave a single tick. The Nihil scroll is Annihilate. Attacks your target, stunning them and dealing damage. Oh, that might actually be handy as well. Grab some of these. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, let's get our... Oh wait, no. Don't auto-fire. Okay, no auto-fire. Which also means I need to see if I can regenerate your points real quick. But yeah, you do attack. So with our rotation figured out and our optimizations made, the only thing that was left to do was execute. That's it? Is that the one? Did the Nihil make the difference? It did. 36 on the dot. And that is the Onyx challenge complete at Hermod. Thank God Nihils actually attack. There we go. All of Hermod's required challenges are wrapped up. And that's how strong Necromancy can be. Even with tier 70 gear, no invention. I guess Dark Magic Aura is actually a good aura for Necromancy, so can't really say without a good aura, because it's actually... Yeah, we did need a little help from a familiar in the end, but ultimately, that's tier 70 Necro taking down a 200k health boss in 36 seconds. Once you factor in the spawn and kill and death animation, probably closer to 30. And that seems like a good a point as any to wrap up this week's episode. We got all the tasks done at Hermod, and honestly a pretty impressive speed kill considering how little we actually have access to at the moment. No Vuln Bombs, no Adren Pot, no Invention, not even a Salve amulet. But as always, if you got to this part of the video, I'm going to assume you liked it. If so, you know what to do. And I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll catch you again next time as we dive into more of Krill's challenges and crack the cave open on the Cowfight Queen. Until then, I'll catch you again next time.